Do you know what? I think I was just unhappy with myself. So I was kind of in general this year, I think I was putting on quite a lot of weight quite quickly. I was overeating, and my nutrition was poor. And I just felt quite bad in myself. So like I think my mental health wasn't great. And I think that was probably down to I wasn't eating very well. So my mood wasn't good. And I was sort of just like stuck in a bit of a negative cycle really. I think it made me quite self-conscious. I wasn't going out a lot. I was yeah, I think I was becoming a bit reclusive really. I had all these ideas of things that I wanted to do, places I wanted to go, and like it's just I just put everything off. I think it did affect things quite a lot actually because I was very indecisive about stuff. I didn't really want to go places with people, and I wasn't seeing people as much as what I used to. Yeah, I think it had quite a big impact. It's kind of difficult to put it into words, I think. Do you know what? I would have been heavier. Uh, my mood probably would have gone downhill even more. I would have had less money in the bank because I would have still been ordering far too many takeaways, um, paying for a gym membership that I wasn't using. Yeah, I probably would have just not been seen people. So like now, kind of, I see my friends more, I go out more. I don't kind of overthink those things. So I've got a much better lifestyle now, and I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't have made that change and started with you. So over the past few years, I've done Slimming World. I've lost weight on Slimming World, but then I've put it back on. I've tried calorie counting again, lost weight, put it back on, haven't stuck to it. Joined the gym, kind of gone to a lot of classes, done a lot of exercise, but not kept up with it.
What was the like worst thing about like doing all of these things and for inevitably to regain the weight?
It's demoralizing. Like you kind of spend this money and put loads of effort in, and it's almost like it's not sustainable. So the different things I've done in the past, kind of, I've started off motivated, and it's just not been sustainable long term, and they haven't taught me anything, kind of, to look after myself long term. Do you know what? I think I've struggled with my weight for years, and that was affecting my mental health and my self confidence. And I was just sick of being in that cycle. And I was like, I want to look after myself long term and not just go from one thing to another. It's not a way to live. Like when I've done Slimmer World in the past, there's been people in the classes that have done Slimmer World for like off and on for like 20 years. I don't want to get to like the age 50 and still be worrying about my weight and what I'm eating.
Would you say that you kind of reached that kind of dieting rock bottom of being like, no, not another thing?
Yeah, totally. It's like there's so many different things out there, and it's like you're kind of bombarded with all this information, all these different diets. And I was like, I just want to look after myself, feel well physically and mentally. And yeah, I just wanted to make that change, just to put myself first and like create a diet that works for me. Well, I've known you for a lot of years, and I follow you on Facebook, so I've kind of seen all the posts that you've been doing, and it's something I've and ahed about for a long time. And I think it was just, and I've never actually seen anyone else that does anything like you do. Like there's been like various personal trainers that might give you like a food plan or this or that, but the way you do things, it's kind of tailored to the individual and working with that person for their goals and like put them first. Well, with you, we kind of talked about where I was, kind of what my goals are, where I want to be. And it was very much focused on me, and it's me doing the work Whereas everything else I've done in the past, it's like, it's almost generic. Do you know, now that I look back on it, I haven't had to make that many changes. So just learning about nutrition and balancing kind of my meals so that I'm eating well to give myself better energy levels, and that has then had a knock-on effect on everything else. Really simple. So I'm eating to fuel my body and give me energy throughout the day, and there's no kind of emotion or guilt related to that now.
How important is that? Like in the past around food, that emotional guilt and potentially shame being kind of removed.
Do you know what? It's huge. Because previously that would kind of just get me stuck in the negative cycle. Like if I ate something that I thought to be bad or unhealthy, you know, oh well, I've blown it now, I'll carry on, and then eating sort of badly then made me feel like I felt bad about it. I felt guilty. Oh, I've blown it. I may as well eat more. And it was like a hard cycle to break. But now, because I don't think like that, it's just kind of freed me up. It's like I've got more energy, I've got more time. It's just made a huge difference. I think in the beginning, I did assume I was going to get almost like a meal plan. Look, you should be eating these types of foods, in kind of almost given a sort of structure or something to follow, but I haven't, and it's just given the information um to make decisions for myself and do the work myself, because it's not rigid, and this is specific to me. So I'm eating the type of foods that I like and the right balance of foods to for my lifestyle. Whereas before, everything in the past, like if I've been counting calories, like I've perhaps not been eating enough because I'm really active, which is why it hasn't been sustainable, because I've been under eating, or when like I've been following a food plan, it's so structured, and again, not eating a good balance of foods. Whereas with this, I've learned about food and how to build meals. Do you know what? It's improved so much. In the beginning, like I was probably eating when I wasn't even hungry, mistaking thirst for hunger, or like if I was feeling stressed, I would eat rather than dealing with that particular emotion. And now that I've kind of taken the time to listen to my body, like I feel more balanced in myself, and it's made a huge difference. Do you know what? I just, in general, I feel so much better in myself. So because I'm eating better, I'm eating more balanced meals, I've got so much more energy, which then gives me more time in my day to do stuff. I'm more organized, I'm more motivated to do stuff, and it's made a huge impact.
What would you say to potentially maybe the previous you who was stuck in that rut, or somebody else that is in that situation, having tried numerous diets, lost a huge great deal of trust within themselves, within food, lost that intuition? Anybody who's maybe on that fence of working with someone like myself, what would your advice be?
To give it a try, because it's something that I've put off for so long, and I'm like, literally in such a short space of time, I've made so many improvements, and I feel so much better in myself. I feel like it's something that I could have done years ago. Like, why put it off?
I guess finally, the main important question I want to answer, the a question I want to know is, are you happy?
Yeah, I really am. In such a better place. It's like my mindset's flipped like a whole 180.